So the first thing I'd like to mention as we start this video off, my friends, is thank you so much for your incredible support of my First Descendant content. You know, I do my best to put these videos out as often as I can. However, with my work schedule, it can get a little bit crazy trying to put these out on a daily basis, and because of that, I did not make a video yesterday, and I received messages from people asking when I'm going to talk about certain things. That truly means the world. I want to let you know that does not go unnoticed. So I wanted to once again thank you for being a part of this family, and I promise to continue to bring you these videos as often as I can. Now today's video we are going to talk about the investor presentation Q2 of 2024. There was an earnings call the other day, and while I will be going over the highlights in regard to the First Descendant, I will also leave a link to the earnings call transcript in the video description down below. That way you can check it out anytime you want. So starting at the top, they said the following. We delivered a record high Q2 revenue and operating income, up 30% and 64% year over year respectively. Much of this success was contributed by Dungeon & Fighter Mobile in China, which launched on May 21st and sustained the top position for more than 11 weeks, making it one of the most successful mobile releases ever in China. This was quickly followed on July 2nd by the breakaway success of a brand new nexon IP, The First Descendant, a release that shot to the top of the global grossing rankings on Steam in a week following the launch. Notably, the highest number of players are in North America, and console players make up approximately 60% of the mix, demonstrating wider support for The First Descendant across all platforms and markets worldwide. So remember, anytime I show you the graphics of current players in the game, that only represents the players on Steam, which only accounts for 40% of the player base. So even though the numbers are starting to dip, we are sitting in a very, very good position. Now they continue by saying, another element of our IP growth initiative is our investments in all new titles with the potential to expand our presence in global markets and become pillars in our IP portfolio. In addition to the recent success of The First Descendant, this includes Arc Raiders, a promising new PvPvE extraction shooter in development at Embark Studios. Now that is a game I've talked about in the past, and if you have no idea what game I'm referencing, I recommend you do some research, check it out, because it looks really good, and even though it has been in development for a very long time, my hope is that the success of The First Descendant speeds up that process. We'll see what happens, my friends. Now getting back to the earnings call, there was a Q&A section and someone asked the following question. Relating to The First Descendant, you obviously had a very good start, but over the past month, we've seen traffic on Steam come down maybe about half or so from the first launch. And I just wanted to understand whether this is a natural cycle where those who started the game and the non-core users are churning out, or whether this is kind of resembling the path we saw with the finals, where each month we saw a continuing decline in traffic. I know it's still very early days, but your assessment of the situation would be most welcome. Thank you. And again, if you're looking at this and you're seeing certain grammatical errors, remember, and this is something we've talked about multiple times at the channel, but there are going to be certain translation issues present whenever we get certain statements like this. So just be ready for that. So anyway, you can see that the CEO responded by saying, thank you very much for your questions. I would like to answer the second part of your question, which is about The First Descendant. So at first we did see some churn from the casual users. However, if we look at the core user base, the metrics are still standing very solid. So right now more than 60% of our user base is coming from console, and that is why if you look at the Steam and actual number, it is actually much larger than the Steam traffic. Also, when we look at the user base and all of our other metrics, the Western and European users are taking up more than 60%, which is really proving the global popularity of this title. He goes on to say that personally, I believe that The First Descendant has the potential to maintain this great performance and also hold the potential to expand. As a great IP franchise, and there is some reasons for that, The First Descendant is a looter shooter genre game, so if you look at the basic gameplay of this looter shooter genre, it has a lot to do with the RPG elements. So when we look at the development team of The First Descendant, it is comprised of a lot of RPG genre veterans with more than 20 years experience. And skipping ahead to the bottom, you can see he says, adding to that, because of the nature of the game and the nature of its genre, the core user base of this game is very solid. Therefore, if we do succeed in supplying stable service, then I believe The First Descendant will perform well long term. And one thing we've talked about so many times in different videos is the fact that this is the very beginning of a brand new IP. And one thing I hear from a lot of players out there is they're concerned with the numbers dropping. And honestly, I'm not in any way, shape, or form. This is the game's infancy. You know, I mean, this is a brand new IP. We're rolling into what, week 7? And one thing I I think we can all agree on, and please let me know your thoughts in the comment section, but the game has been amazing in communicating with the player base, and not only that, we have seen non-stop hotfixes and improvements based on player feedback. We just had our first major update. Season 1 is going to begin at the end of this month, and we have Season 2 at the end of the year. And the main reason I wanted to put this video together today is to remind you we are just starting. We are at the very beginning of this game. In my opinion, they've done a really good job, especially for something that's free to play. Let me know your thoughts, my friends, and as always, questions, comments, or feedback, let me know as well, and I will do my best to get back to you as quick as I can. Now, as I start to wrap this video up, there are two things I'd like to bring to your attention really quick. For those of you out there who are dealing with Nexon support, as you've heard me say previously, they are absolutely terrible at getting back to players, especially if you open up a ticket. You can see here someone said, "Can someone please help me get unbanned? I did a ticket already." And actually, one of the mods on Discord said the following: "We apologize for the delays. The team is currently answering a high volume of tickets. The support team is doing their best to accommodate all of your concerns, and they'll get back to you as soon as possible. We kindly ask for your patience and understanding." Now look, here's my thought. While I do appreciate the game responding to players, they got to get their together. This is totally and completely unacceptable. I do not care how many tickets you are getting. You need to do a better job to answer them. And that has to do with people missing caliber as well, because I hear from people on a daily basis who have made multiple purchases. They've made multiple tickets with the game. They have not heard anything back. And these are people who have been waiting days, if not weeks, to get a response, and they're not sure what to do. My recommendation is very simple. If you paid for something and you did not get it, do not buy anything else whatsoever, because you do not want to have multiple tickets with this company. It will take a lifetime to get answers. If you've encountered this, let me know, my friends. Hope it works out for you very soon. On that note, I'm going to start to wrap this up. As always, I want to take a moment and thank you all for your incredible support of this channel. And for those of you that may not know, every Sunday I do a weekly recap going over certain things that we talked about during the week. If you have any questions I did not address, please leave them in the comment section. I will do my best to answer those. Once again, thank you for the privilege of your time, and as I mention at the end of every one of these, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we will talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.